This story comes from the pages of Marvel Zombies Black, White, and Blood, issue number 3. Please support the official release. The story opens where we see our indestructible hero Luke Cage in New York as he waited for an important meeting. Greeted by his good friend Misty, we discover that this Luke, who is very early into his career, was working bodyguard duty for an important young woman. This woman being Lexi von Strucker, the daughter of Werner von Strucker, thus making her the granddaughter of the infamous Baron von Strucker, the Hydra scientist responsible for Cage's powers. Upon meeting the colorful, loud, and rather flirtatious Lexi whom he was assigned to guard, Cage was introduced to her robotic companions created by her father that too served as watchers to keep her safe from harm. Taking her hunking hero by the hand, Lexi led Luke to basically the who's who of supervillains dinner convention where Hydra was announcing important breakthroughs in their studies. Immediately identifying one of the men at the panel, Luke saw his former racist and violent prison guard named Bob Rackham, who had sold him off to the research facility, which caused the accident that gave Luke his powers. Knowing that this group of men were up to no good, Luke told Lexi that they needed to leave, much to the woman's embarrassment, saying that she wanted to hear her father's big speech. Before they could make their exit, Werner would make a rather sinister announcement, claiming that they had finally even surpassed the works of Howard Stark and unlocked the secrets of the Captain America Super Soldier Serum. Proudly declaring that this will issue in a new wave of superiority, Strucker had his men, which even consisted of the Daredevil villain Nuke, inject the serum into their bloodstream. However, instead of turning into muscle-bound heroes of hope like Steve Rogers, the serum caused the soldiers' eyes to turn blood red, where they began to foam at the mouth and viciously attack and eat any audience member in sight. Horrified and confused at what was going on, Luke Cage woke up from being somehow knocked unconscious, where he was soon greeted by one of Lexi's robots, who began to scan the hero's vital signs. Even further confused, the machine happily confirmed that the hero's diagnostics were normal, seemingly being aware that this infection would already happen. As a swarm of undead made their way up the stairs towards the man, the drone highly suggested he turn on security mode, where he agreed, as the bot basically turned into a groovy laser disco ball, where he and it tore into the hungry hordes of zombies. Once this battle was over, Cage asked the drone how long he was out, where it promptly confirmed he was unconscious for 12 minutes. This being an eternity in zombie apocalypse time, Cage wondered just who could have been strong enough to knock someone like him out for so long, where he soon discovered that it was the zombified Bob Rackham, who had found his way and eaten Cage's friend Misty. Enraged at this loss, Cage fought the man, where the superpowered duo brawled their way into a nearby office building where bloodied Lexi hid under a desk. Managing to defeat the man, Cage located Lexi, who was relieved to see the man was still alive, where she then led him to a secret entrance to a bunker that her father built so they could retreat. As the pair made their way through the long dark corridor, the wounded Lexi groaned in pain, where Cage told her to stay conscious, for he was here to protect her and see this mission to the end. Once they approached the door to the bunker, a retinal scan was required, where Cage had the woman proceed, and after he was sure she was safe, he would venture out to find the remaining Avengers so they could save who was left and stop this infection from spreading. This would not get to happen though, for once the scan was complete, the computer would recognize that Lexi was indeed infected and denied her entrance inside. Infuriated, the woman's zombified transformation would complete, where she spewed a disgusting stream of bile and mucus all over Cage, getting into his eyes and mouth. Asking if the woman had lost her mind, Cage saw that it was much more than that, where she began to speak in a nearly possessed voice, telling him that she could not bear the thought of a man like him and the other heroes ruling this earth instead of a Von Strucker like her, and would rather both of them die in this pit instead of that happening. Telling Cage he was nothing more than a tool in this vast game, Lexi called him a monster just like her, where the man had enough and used his strength to smack the undead woman, sending her flying into the bunker door, breaking her neck. This story's ending would take an even darker turn though, as the mucus that had gotten into Cage's eyes caused the seemingly indestructible man to become infected as well. With his transformation now complete, Luke would go to feed on Lexi's corpse as a horde of fellow cannibals would close in from behind.